12-3 box and whisker plots. Alright, today we're going to talk about box and whisker plots. To be honest with you, you probably really won't see these anywhere other than on the state test. But the good thing is they do talk about some things that you'll see in other classes, particularly if you end up going to college. You'll see these in a statistics class. And you'll also hear some of these words thrown around when we're talking about state testing or when you're talking about other things that have to do with population type of things. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the lower extreme or the minimum. That's basically the smallest number, and that's the end of one of them. And then you have your upper extreme or your maximum. That'll be the biggest number. You have what's called your lower quartile, also known as your lower median, and your upper quartile or upper median. And finally, you have the median, which is the middle number. Remember from our mountain math. Now, each one of these little sections is 25% of the numbers. So, think quartile, quarter. Quarter is 25 cents. So, each section of these, each line or each part of the box, each section of the box is 25%. So, our objective is to make and interpret box and whisker plots using plots to represent the data. So here's a group of numbers. You already have them written down. And what we need to do is put them in order from smallest to largest. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Is that all of them? Okay, so we've got them all in order. 3, 10, 10, 12, 13, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right. Find your median. Remember, median is your middle number. In this case, there's two numbers in the middle, so do you remember how to find the median if there's two numbers in the middle? Basically, you add them together and divide by 2. So 13 plus 15 divided by 2. 13 plus 15 is 28. Divided by 2 is 14. So 14 will be our median. And that's our lower half of the data. So now we have 3, 10, 10, 12, 13, 13. That's our lower half. And we'll have our upper half, which would be 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. Now we need to find the median of the lower half. So basically we're cutting things in half. So we cut everything in half first time, and then we're going to cut the two halves in half, which gives us quarters. So our median of the lower half is our lower quartile. So again, we've got two numbers in the middle. We've got 10 and 12. So what's in between 10 and 12? Hopefully you can figure that out without having to go 10 plus 12 divided by 2, but it's 11. And then we have our median of our upper half, also known as the upper quartile, and that's going to be between 17 and 18. Now there's no whole number between 17 and 18, but if we add those two together and divide by 2, we get 17 and a half, or 17.5. So once you've done that, you've got your lower quartile, which is 11, your median, which is 14, and your upper quartile, which is 17.5. And you have all your numbers in order from least to greatest. So you'd get your number line going, and you can number it. You don't have to do it by ones. You can do it by 5s and 10s or whatever's easiest, so that it's still you can get the information that you need. So start with your minimum. What's your smallest number? That's a 3. What's your biggest number? 20. That gives you your range. I don't know where my little dot is for 20, but there should be a dot there. So remember, we've talked about range in the mountain math. That's from the minimum to the maximum. Those are basically going to be our whiskers. Oh, there's my dot. Put a dot at the lower quartile, and then you're going to put a dot at the upper quartile. So oh, sorry, I forgot my median is 14. And then my upper quartile, which is 17.5. So you put all your dots on a line, and then you're going to put your interquartile range is drawn from the lower quartile to the upper quartile. That's basically your box. And you've just done a box and whisker. Woohoo! So we can use a box and whisker plot to find the following. So what is the minimum number here? So remember, minimum is the smallest, and that's going to be your smallest dot. So where's your smallest dot located at? Hopefully you're saying, well, I guess we're going by 2s there. I should probably pay attention. We're going by 10 and 20, and so that's 2. So then our maximum looks like it should be 61 or 62. Yeah, it's kind of in that middle dot, so I'm going to go 61. So now our range, how do you find the range? Take the largest number minus the smallest number. So 61 minus 12 gives us a range of 49. Our median, remember what median is, the middle number. And so if you're looking at the box and whisker, where's our middle dot? It's right in between the 2 lines of 38 and 40, so I'm guessing we're going to have 39 here. Our upper quartile, that's going to be farther to the right, so that looks like it's about 46. What would the lower quartile be? Did you say 24? I hope you did. And the interquartile range, that's the difference between the upper quartile and the lower quartile. So 46 minus 24, looks like we should get 22. Now, what percent is above 24? So what, if this was a test, if this was the scores from a test, how many students scored above 24 or got more than 24 right on the test? Well, find 24, and you'll notice that there's the lower quartiles there. How many spaces are between each, or how many spaces do we have from the lower quartile to the maximum? Between the dots, 1, 2, 3. So remember, each one of those spaces is 25%. So if we have 3 25s, it's 75%. Scored above a 24 or above 24, however you want to say it. Okay, so using this box and whisker plot, would you find the minimum, the maximum, the range, the median, the upper quartile, lower quartile, interquartile range, and what percent is below 20? I'll give you a minute, so go ahead and pause the video and answer those, as many of those as you can. Feel free to go back and listen to what we did before, or look at your notes to help you solve the problems. Okay, so the minimum, that's our smallest number. And again, it looks like we're going by 2s here, so that should be a 4. Our maximum is right below 60. And our range is the maximum minus the minimum, so 60 minus 4 is 56. The median looks like it's right in the middle of 30 and 40, so that should be 35. Our upper quartile is 50. Our lower quartile is 20. And to get the interquartile range, that sounds like something from Star Wars or Star Trek. So 50 minus 20 is 30. What percent is below 20? So there's 1 space in that, so that would be 25%. If you got one wrong, you need to ask questions when you see me in class tomorrow. Here's another one. Go ahead and pause the video, and we'll answer it in a moment. Okay, minimum looks like 15 to me. Maximum looks like 55. Range would be 55 minus 15, which is 40. Median looks like 35 again. Or was the last one 45? I already forgot. Upper quartile looks like 40. Lower quartile is 20. To get the interquartile range, we've got 40, or that should be 40 minus 20. That should be 20. I don't know where the 50 came from. I apologize. What percent is below 20? 25%. And that's it for today. I'll get you your assignment when you come to class tomorrow. If you have any questions, let me know. Bye.